Three Body Problem is the latest sci-fi mystery thriller series and it can be confusing. So here I am with the explanation of the Three Body Problem series. Let's get into it. So Three Body Problem delves into the mysterious events that are suddenly taking place on Earth. Scientists are mysteriously dying, there is a weird death countdown and a very cryptic headset which is a VR game. And it's so realistic that you will feel like you are actually inside the game. Now, through this game, we learn of a desperate alien civilization called the Santi, who hail from a three-sun system plagued by constant environmental chaos, and they are doomed to face extinction no matter what they do or how advanced they are. And thus, this civilization, the Santi, are in search of a new home planet, and that's when they reach out to Earth. Ye Wenji, a brilliant astrophysicist, but is scared by the horrors of the Cultural Revolution as it took her father away from her. She makes a fateful decision. She ignores all the strict warnings and secretly responds to the Santi's message, inviting them to Earth. Their arrival time is 400 years, since they live 4 light years away. Now why she did it? Why did she invite them? She believes that humanity is not capable anymore and a new advanced civilization can bring humanity online and save us. Meanwhile, Jen, another brilliant astrophysicist, delves deeper into the VR game, learning more about what the game is, discovering solutions, understanding Santi, their plans, and how they want to destroy the science on Earth. The Santi fear that by the time they reach Earth, we humans will be more advanced, capable, and powerful than them. Now, after she completes the game, Jen is invited to a secret summit where she discovers that Ye Wenji, her mentor's mother, and the person who invited the Santi leads a growing cult that worships the Santi and calls them my lord. With Ye Wenji, there is another powerful and rich man named Evans who is in continuous touch with the Santi. Now Jen, along with Wade, the head of strategic intelligence agency, learns that this Santi have unleashed sophones, which are type of photons and sentient particles. Now these are extremely small but very powerful particles that have information and capabilities we can't even imagine. These sophones can manipulate events, spy on humanity, and even influence human minds. But do note that they cannot read what's going on in our minds. So yes, if you have watched the series, then you might remember that the game, the blinking night sky, the countdown, and those scenes where the murderer was not even seen on camera, everything was done by these sophones, which are sent by Santi, and their main purpose is to slow down and even destroy the progress of science on Earth. Meanwhile, there is Augie, a brilliant scientist who becomes a target of the Santi due to her breakthrough research on nanofibers. The aliens warn her that her countdown won't stop until she stops her work. Now, if you remember, in the start, she sees some timer. Once over, she will die. And the only way to stop that timer is if she stops her work on the nanofibers. Now, if you remember again, when Wade orders to destroy the ship in which Evans is there, they destroy it by using Augie's help and her nanofiber technology. So why she didn't die then? Well, we know how Evans pissed off the Santi by telling that we lie and that Santi disconnected with him. They don't want to coexist with someone who lies. And thus, for a brief moment, Santi stopped protecting its followers, and thus, when Augie again started her work, the timer wasn't there. Wade, the head of strategic intelligence, and Jen raced against time to develop countermeasures, including developing a hibernation technology and a space drive that can reach almost or around 1% of the speed of light. Now, how will they achieve this? Well, they plan to detonate 300 bombs at regular intervals in the space, which will help the spacecraft boost its speed and thus reaching the desired speed. Even with that speed, it will take 200 years for us to meet the Santi spacecraft. In addition, the UN launched a special project which is called the Wall Fisher project. Now, Wall Fisher is someone who makes strategies but in their own minds, since the Santi cannot read our minds. They are also provided with heavy security and powers. That means that they cannot communicate or tell their ideas to anyone until it's the right time to execute them. Now, in the final episode, we saw how Wade launches a daring mission. Will our ill scientist volunteers his brain to be digitized and sent aboard the spacecraft. However, the spacecraft, after 3 successful detonations, diverts from its route, leading to the failure of this entire mission. With 400 years until the Santi arrives, human grapples with an uncertain future. The series ends with humanity on high alert against a technological superior force. That's all for this video. See you in the next one.